Past life, my sister Serena snatched my destined deer shifter as her mate. Left with no choice, I settled for an unevolved phoenix shifter, Lucian. But the deer suddenly went rogue and rammed into my sister, nearly killing her and making her the pack's laughingstock. But my Lucian triggered a rare awakening. He became a powerful fire phoenix. Driven mad by jealousy, my sister drove a blade straight into my stomach. When I opened my eyes again, I watched my sister choose Lucian without a second thought. I knew she had also been reborn, but she did not know that Lucian's transformation was not luck. It became a legend because I risked my life to hunt down the eternal flame for him.
Choose carefully when the beastmen come in. The mate you pick is for life.
Where I'm from, everyone selects a beast mate after coming of age. Each year, the beast mates are chosen in order, starting with the elder's daughters. The stronger a beast mate can become, the better it is for the one bonded to him. As Mother looked at me, her tone shifted.
Vivian, although the elders say the deer shifter is the best match for you, that doesn't mean it's the best choice. You are older, so you must let your sister have it. Do you understand?
I stared at Mother in a daze. The scent of blood hadn't faded, yet now she only looked at me coldly. This harshness was only for me. She had only ever been gentle and doting toward my younger sister, Mother demanded coldly.
Vivian, answer me.
I gave a bitter smile.
Mother, what do you want me to answer?
In my past life, I had argued back. It was clear the deer shifter was a better match for me, but she called me greedy, lacking an older sister's generosity, and incapable of greatness. Just then, Serena, holding the fledgling in her arms, smiled sweetly and spoke up.
Mum, let Vivian have the deer shifter. Please don't argue with her because of me. The phoenix is enough for me.
Serena, are you sure you want Lucian? A beast mate will shape your entire future.
Mom knows how proud Serena is. She always wants the best. Why would she give up the spirit deer for a trash bird? A flash of disgust crossed Serena's eyes. She knew the spirit deer was way more valuable, but she was still terrified of how it almost killed her in her last life.
Yes, Mom. I only want Lucian.
Serena shot me a smug look, like she was already watching me get trampled to death. What a fool. She forgot that the deer only went crazy because she forced it to level up too fast. Lucian only became a phoenix because of my sacrifice. But that ungrateful bird. Before I even died in my past life, he used his phoenix powers to reject our mate bond. If he hadn't stolen my last bit of life force, that stab wound wouldn't have killed me. Mom smiled warmly at Serena, then turned her cold eyes on me.
Serena is so sweet for giving you the deer shifter, Vivian. You need to give half of your magic crystals to Serena. Lucian needs expensive care.
So she always knew Lucian needed care. But in my past life, she never said that. She just told me Lucian was useless and made me give my crystals to Serena anyway. Turns out, no matter if I choose the bird or the deer, Mom will never love me. Fine. Then I don't want either of them. I walked right past the deer, straight to the very back of the room, and picked up a black wolf pup that nobody wanted. This life, I want a loyal, brutal, and deadly beast mate.
Mum, I don't want Serena's leftovers. And I'm not sharing my magic crystals.
You used to always give Serena half! Who taught you to be so selfish? Where is your sisterly love?
My mom screamed at me, completely ignoring the crowd around us. People started whispering and laughing at me. I finally raised my head.
You taught me, Mom.
It was her who used my actual life to teach me that family ties mean absolutely nothing.
Vivian, don't you dare regret this. Lucian is going to become a phoenix one day.
Serena's mocking voice echoed behind me, but I didn't care. I just held the black wolf tightly and walked away. Just wait and see. Without my high-quality magic crystals, Lucian will be lucky if he even grows feathers. Back in my room, the exact second the magic crystal sank into the black wolf's forehead, he shook his fur out. Right before my eyes, he transformed into a tall, breathtakingly handsome man. His dark green eyes locked onto me. In that exact second, I forgot how to breathe. If I knew he was this hot in my past life, I would have dragged him home way sooner.
Are you hungry? Do you want some raw meat or something?
I swallowed hard. trying to hide how desperately I wanted him. The black wolf narrowed his eyes, and my heart skipped a beat. Holy crap, he's even hotter now. This brooding, dangerous energy. Can I really handle a guy like him?
Don't move.
The black wolf suddenly leaned in, and my entire world stopped.
I'm Cedric. We wolves only choose one mate for life. We live together, and we die together. I want to imprint your face into my mind, so I will never forget you.
Then you better look closely.
I smirked, grabbed his collar, and slammed him straight onto the bed. Damn, wolves are built differently. He felt so good.
What are you doing?
Cedric's face instantly turned bright red, and his wolf ears popped out from his head. I pinched his fluffy ears.
Say, honey?
He gasped and mumbled it,
Honey.
then instantly poofed back into his little wolf form out of pure embarrassment. I burst out laughing and buried my face right into his chest fur. At first, he tried to push me away a little, but he didn't dare use any real strength because he was terrified of hurting me. I refused to move. Seeing that he couldn't get me off, he just sighed, threw his head back, and totally gave up. I used to hear that wolves were the most loyal mates, but I never expected him to be this obedient. He looks so dangerous, but his attitude is literally perfect. In my past life, I chose Lucian. I had to babysit and beg him for days before he finally agreed to form the mate bond. That basic-ass bird had a terrible temper and was so high maintenance. Serena definitely doesn't have the patience to baby him, so good luck to them. Thinking about this, I realized I had found a true treasure. I hugged Cedric tighter and nuzzled him again. Suddenly, a loud shriek cut through the air, followed by a massive crash outside. Serena's room completely collapsed, and Lucian was still stuck in the pool inside. She stood by the water, screaming her lungs out at Lucian. But the second she turned around and saw me walking out of my room, our eyes locked. Serena shrieked and pointed a finger at me.
You did this on purpose just to laugh at me, didn't you, Vivian? Telling Mom you're bullying me.
Before, whenever she threatened to tell Mom, I would always cave, but this time I just crossed my arms, leaned against the door, and gave her a cold smirk.
Go ahead.
Serena lost her mind and charged right at me. It wasn't like I couldn't beat her in a fight. I just used to let her win because I didn't want to make Mom sad. But now, I'm done holding back. My face went completely numb. Before I could even raise my hand to touch her, a black shadow flew past me, slamming Serena straight into the dirt. Cedric let out a deep, low growl. Cedric. His sharp claws pinning Serena right by her throat. Serena couldn't even scream anymore. She couldn't even breathe. Right on cue, Mom rushed in.
Serena! Serena!
Then she turned to me, furious.
Make him let her go immediately! Are you trying to kill your own sister?
Seeing how panicked she was for Serena made my heart ache with a cold, sharp pain. Even though I didn't care about her love anymore, I had sensed her energy minutes ago. If it had been me getting beaten up instead of Serena, she probably would have hid behind Serena's back and waited until it was over to show up.
Mom, Cedric knows what he's doing. This is just intimate sisterly bonding. Don't take it too seriously.
I threw her exact words right back in her face. Mom raised her hand to slap me, but I dodged it easily.
Mom, if you touch me even once, I'll have Cedric rip her throat out.
She finally backed down, terrified that Serena would actually die. I couldn't help but let out a cold laugh. We are both her daughters, but in her heart, we aren't even in the same league.
Mom, I can tell Cedric to let her go, but you have to promise you won't blame him. We'll try to get revenge. If anything happens to Cedric, I'm holding you personally responsible.
Mom's face went completely pale.
Is this how you talk to your own mother? Are you seriously interrogation room threatening me right now?
I never wanted to, but you always side with Serena. Today, Serena attacked me first, and without even asking what happened, you tried to slap me. You can treat me like garbage all you want, but Cedric is my mate. I won't let him suffer for me.
I wasn't acting heartbroken and mistreated for my mom's sake. Serena had made such a huge scene that a massive crowd had gathered around us, whispering. Whether Mom agreed to my terms or not today, everyone was going to see her for the biased, unfair mother she really is. Hearing the crowd murmuring, Mom finally snapped and agreed. Cedric let go of Serena and walked slowly back to my side. His eyes locked onto my mom, completely on guard to protect me. I gently patted his head, telling him it was okay to relax. Mom couldn't care less about me right now. She started shoving expensive magic crystals into Serena's mouth like they were candy. The second Serena choked back to consciousness, she pointed a finger at me, spitting venom.
You bitch! Just wait until Lucian turns into a phoenix! I'm going to ruin your life! He's going to become a phoenix, and I'm going to make him rip you to shreds!
I just smirked.
Can't wait.
She really thinks Lucian turning into a phoenix is a blessing? I have absolutely no reason to warn her. Let her die holding on to her stupid little phoenix dream. That day, I actually asked Cedric about it. Wasn't he terrified that Mom would just snap and kill him on the spot? But Cedric just looked at me and said, if a wolf can't even protect his own mate, living is a disgrace. He'd rather die. I immediately pinned him down on the bed and told him to say honey a few more times. But he refused. With a quick flash of light, he poofed right back into his black wolf form. Honestly, works for me. I got to bury my hands in his thick, warm fur and pet him even more. Ever since Serena defended him last time, things between her and Lucian had gotten a lot better. 3 months flew by. Rumors started spreading all over the city that even though Serena was a total brat, she treated her beast husband like royalty. She was piling mountains of expensive magic crystals on Lucian like they cost nothing. I teased Cedric.
Are you jealous?
Cedric wrapped his arms around me from behind.
Vivian, do you think I'm stupid? Magic crystals are useless without the eternal flame. Lucian is all show and no bite.
I burst out laughing, turning around to hook my arms around his neck.
Who knows? What if the terrifying wolf clan is actually just all bath and no tight?
Well, I paid for my big mouth real quick. The next morning, I didn't even have the strength to crawl out of bed. A few days later, Mom suddenly called me to her room. This time, I hid a dagger in my clothes. Cedric noticed, and he walked right in with me. Serena was cuddling in Mom's arms, looking at me with this smug smirk. Every single time she wanted to steal my stuff, she made that exact face. I stopped in my tracks. She looked me and Cedric up and down, sneering.
Vivian's beast husband looks completely useless. Mom, we should just give her share of the magic crystals to my Lucian instead.
Just like in my past life, she was eyeing my resources again.
No way,
I said, my voice ice cold. Serena mocked me and immediately turned to whine to Mom. Mom comforted her, then glared at me coldly.
Serena is right. You two are sisters. Lucian needs high maintenance care. Hand your magic crystals over to Serena.
Looking at how entitled this mother-daughter duo was, memories of how they used to abuse me in my past life rushed back. They had always treated me like a tool, using guilt trips and family love to drain me and force me to give up everything. But I've already died once. No way in hell am I making the same mistake.
I said no. My resources are already less than Serena's. Plus, you constantly give her extra stungs under the table, Mum.
I'm not blind.
Mum, you don't need to keep bullying me just to please Serena. You're a mother. You wouldn't starve one daughter to death just to spoil the other, right?
I gave her one long, deep look, then turned around and walked out with Cedric. Mom just stood there, completely frozen. It seemed like having all her years of toxic favoritism dragged out into the daylight shocked even her. After that day, Mom didn't come looking for me again, but the magic crystals delivered to my room got less and less. At first, it was barely enough for me and Cedric. By the end, it couldn't even cover Cedric's basic training needs. Yet, even with this pathetic amount of crystals, I still took a portion and secretly handed them out to the city guards and poor citizens who were also getting their resources cut. When the entire city started whispering with anger, I knew my moment had arrived.
I'm going to see Mum. bring the citizens and follow me right after.
I said, stroking Cedric's thick fur. He shook his fur and instantly melted into his human form. He grabbed my hand and slapped it right onto his rock-hard abs.
I heard you like touching these?
The texture under my palm was so good, I couldn't help but give them a hard squeeze. Before Cedric could even react, I vaulted right out the window. The second I closed the window, the smile wiped off my face. Replacing it with an icy, heartbroken expression, I walked straight into Mom's room. By now, Lucian had already transformed into a teenage boy. Birds were always famous for their looks, and he was no exception. Serena was gushing to Mom about how gorgeous and talented Lucian was, but the moment I stepped inside, the room went dead silent. Mom and Serena glared at me at the exact same time, their annoyed faces looking identical. I just pretended not to notice.
Mom, the magic crystals distributed to everyone are getting lower and lower. Did you only cut my share, or did you steal from all the citizens too?
I stared straight into Mom's eyes.
Of course everyone's got cut! Why is everyone else fine, but you're the only one starting drama?
Serena blurted out. Mom tried to stop her, but it was too late. Her loud mouth was heard perfectly by the crowd of citizens Cedric had brought right outside the door. The citizens' faces instantly dropped.
So that's why our magic crystals keep disappearing.
No wonder I felt like I couldn't even survive lately. They're literally stealing from us!
The city hasn't been under attack or anything. Did they steal our stuff just to fund Serena's beast?
Serena never expected a whole mob to show up. Her face flushed red with panic.
You set me up on purpose, didn't you?
The words came out of your own mouth. Did I put a knife to your throat and force you to say it?
I looked down at her coldly. In my past life, she stole resources from the citizens all the time, but back then, no one spoke up, so she got away with it. This time is different. She confessed out loud. There's no wiggling out of this.
Serena!
Mom snapped, stopping her from digging a deeper hole. With so many angry citizens watching, Mom had no choice but to bite the bullet and own up to it.
Mom, since everyone's resources are cut anyway, from now on give my entire crystal allowance to the city guards and the citizens. I'll just take whatever I earn from doing dangerous missions.
Absolutely not!
Mom screamed automatically. If she lost my massive share of magic crystals, how the hell was she going to sponsor Serena's expensive lifestyle? The citizens stared at Mom in absolute shock. Forget a city ruler. Even a normal, everyday family wouldn't force their own kid to do deadly missions just to buy basic supplies. The crowd's eyes turned incredibly hostile as they glared at Mom and Serena. A ruler this greedy, wasteful, and blindly biased was completely unfit to lead them. Mom knew she was losing the crowd, but she just couldn't let go of me, her personal cash cow. I let my shoulders drop, letting out a heavy, tragic sigh.
Mom, if that's how it is, then I'll just be like Serena. I won't do any work anymore. Surely the city won't let me starve to death.
Hearing this, Mom completely panicked.
No! How can you compare yourself to Serena?
I cut her off instantly.
We used to be different, but right now I can barely even stay alive. Serena said her Lucian is a god, right? Then let Lucian go out and protect the city from now on.
Vivian, no! You can't leave us!
The citizens started begging. The only reason they used to ignore Serena's disgusting overspending was because I was carrying the entire city on my back. Now that they had pushed me to quit, this whole city was going to collapse. Feeling the burning, hateful glares of the citizens, Serena's eyes turned bloodshot. Her Lucian was going to become a phoenix. Why wouldn't these peasants just believe her? Just wait. One day, when Lucian unleashes his phoenix form, she is going to make every single person here crawl and regret today.
Fine! Who cares? Mom, kick them all out! Once my Lucian turns into a phoenix, I am banishing every single one of these peasants from our city!
Serena couldn't handle the burning stares of the crowd anymore. She was 100% convinced Lucian's phoenix awakening was a done deal. Mom could never stand seeing her favorite child upset. Plus, looking at how confident Serena was, Mom just nodded and agreed. As the citizens left, they openly spat on the ground. gossiping about how Serena had completely lost her mind. Yeah, turning into a phoenix was possible, but it was a one-in-a-million miracle. I honestly couldn't wait to see Serena's face when she realized Lucian's transformation wasn't a gift of good luck at all. While the crowd mocked Serena, they practically cried tears of regret as they watched Cedric and me leave the city gates. Mon, of course, didn't even show up. She just sent a messenger telling me to stay away and think about what I've done. She honestly thought her giving me the cold shoulder would break my heart. In my past life, it totally did, but in this life, looking back at the thousands of citizens cheering my name, my heart was practically bursting with joy. That tiny, toxic crumb of motherly love meant absolutely nothing compared to taking over the throne. With Cedric by my side, I dove straight into the dark forest where I had found the eternal flame in my past life. This time, with Cedric backing me up and no useless Lucian dragging me down, the mission was a total breeze. On our way out of the forest, we started hearing crazy rumors about Serena. The word on the street was that Serena was a once-in-a-century prodigy who could predict the future. I literally laughed out loud. Of course she knew the future, because she was a reincarnated bitch, just like me. Sitting across from me now, Cedric had completely shed his boyish innocence. His sharp, chiseled face was full of dangerous, alpha energy, melting into pure tenderness only when he looked at me.
What are you laughing at?
Cedric asked, thoughtfully refilling my drink. Getting a little tipsy, I playfully hooked my finger under his chin.
Do you regret it? If you had chosen the prodigy that day, you'd be living the lavish life right now.
Oh, really?
Cedric's eyes darkened with a sudden heat. His powerful arm locked around my waist, pulling me flush against him. Yeah, I stopped laughing real quick. Cedric was absolutely ruthless in bed. The day we finally returned to the clan, Serena was standing in the center of the grand hall with Lucian, surrounded by a worshipping crowd, like she was some kind of queen. She had hyped up her prophecy so much that everyone blindly believed Lucian was about to become a god. Catching sight of me, Serena smirked triumphantly from the center of the crowd.
Oh, Vivian, you're back. They actually appointed me as the official next city lord early. You aren't mad, are you?
The surrounding citizens turned around to look at us, their eyes darting away in guilt when they saw me and Cedric. I didn't say a word. Serena strutted over to me.
Honestly, Vivian, don't be bitter. Lucian is about to become a phoenix. A phoenix is 1,000,000 times more important to this city than a basic wolf who only knows how to kill.
Serena had no clue that I was reincarnated too. She kept flexing Lucian right in my face.
Lucian is doing so much better with me than he ever would have with you. I bet you couldn't even afford a single magic crystal for him. You definitely fed him well. He's all show and no bite.
In our past life, I had poured mountains of high-grade magic crystals into Lucian. Even though he stayed in a child's form back then, he was bursting with pure, radiant spiritual energy. Now, he looked stiff, clumsy, and totally bloated, stuffed to the brim with cheap, mismatched crystals until he became a fat, useless coward. Maybe it was just my imagination, but I thought I saw a flash of agony cross Lucian's face. But I didn't give a crap about him anymore. Cedric stepped forward, casually leaning behind me. Just his sheer presence made Lucian flinch and take a terrified step back. Serena's embarrassment instantly turned into pure rage.
Just wait and see! Lucian is definitely Turnix! It's destiny!
She screamed like a maniac, ordering guards to pile up even more magic crystals. The crowd swarmed around her. Mom gave me one cold, dead look before turning back to Serena with a face full of blind pride. Everyone was freezing me out. But Cedric stood right in front of me. Like always, he wanted to block every single piece of hate coming my way, whether it was physical or verbal. I gently tapped Cedric's shoulder.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Today was his day to awaken too. Inside the awakening circle, under the greedy eyes of the entire city, Lucian's body flickered with a tiny spark of light, but that was it. It just flickered. He stayed exactly the same, with absolutely no signs of a phoenix evolution. The excited crowd started murmuring, their faces twisting into doubt.
This is impossible. It can't fail.
A sudden roar of cheers erupted from the back. Serena snapped her head up in pure joy.
I knew it! Lucian is my good luck charm! He did it!
As she followed the light, her smile shattered. The magic crystals piled around Lucian were completely dull and dead. Instead, from a dusty corner of the hall, a blinding, roaring pillar of sacred light shot straight into the sky. The awakening succeeded. But it was Cedric who did it.
No! That's a lie! It's all fake! If we failed, there's no way a garbage wolf like you succeeded!
Serena lost her mind and charged at Cedric like a rabid dog. I didn't hesitate. I kicked her straight in the chest, sending her flying across the floor.
Vivian! How dare you! He's just a damn black wolf! How could you lay a hand on your own sister?
Mom instantly shielded Serena in her arms, glaring at me like she wanted to eat me alive. He's just a wolf? I stared back at my mother, genuinely wondering how a person's heart could be so disgusting and twisted.
He is my husband! If his awakening gets interrupted, it could kill him! Besides, Cedric's evolution is unlocking an ancient primordial bloodline. It's just a stupid wolf evolution! How could that ever be more important than Serena?
Mom shrieked automatically. An animal unlocking an ancient primordial bloodline could instantly double the entire clan's military power. Yet, in her mouth, it was garbage compared to her useless, failed daughter, Serena. I stopped wasting my breath on her and turned directly to the crowd.
Do you want a useless Lucian and a greedy city lid who does nothing but steal your resources? Or do you want a real leader who can actually protect and feed you?
The citizens didn't even have to think. Mom's constant stealing of their crystals and her disgusting disrespect towards a sacred evolution had already destroyed any loyalty they had left. They immediately swarmed forward, forming a human wall in front of Cedric, screaming out every single injustice Mom had ever done to me. I just watched Mom. I watched her hold Serena tight, desperately stuffing the citizens' sacred crystals into Serena's mouth like a lunatic. As for Lucian, who had completely failed his evolution, his fate of being thrown out like trash was sealed. He stood alone in the corner, totally helpless, his eyes welling up with tears as he stared at me. I had no idea why he looked so heartbroken, and frankly, I didn't care. As the blinding pillar of light finally faded, Cedric slowly stood up. The entire hall erupted into wild, deafening cheers. Cedric's magic had officially breached the absolute peak of power. Serena finally snapped out of it, but she just kept whispering, "Impossible," over and over again, like a broken record. I looked down at her, feeling absolutely ecstatic.
Serena, you still don't get it, do you? Yeah, Lucian needed magic crystals to become a phoenix, but he needed the eternal flame even more. And to get that flame, you have to risk your actual life. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I grabbed the eternal flame in this life too. Except this time, I gave it to Cedric.
Hearing that I was reincarnated too, a chaotic mix of shock, terror, and pure rage flashed through Serena's eyes. I stood there, thoroughly enjoying the sight of her mental breakdown. I kept this a secret for so long just to save it for this exact moment. Lucian becoming a phoenix was her ultimate hope for 2 entire lifetimes. The higher her hopes were, the harder she crashed. Missing it by a hair, nothing hurts worse than that. Serena started shaking violently. She let out one final, desperate screech, stiffened up, and fainted right on the spot.
Serena!
Mom clutched her own chest, turning to glare at me with pure venom.
Vivian, break your mate bond with Cedric right now! Hand Cedric over to Serena.
At that exact moment, it felt like an icicle had pierced straight through my heart. But then, Cedric grabbed my cold fingers, squeezing my hand tightly in his palm. He took a massive step forward, unleashing a wave of alpha pressure so suffocating that even Mom couldn't stand her ground.
If you want to die, keep talking,
Cedric growled. I forced my emotions down and looked at her coldly.
Mom, I am never giving him up.
Vivian, you are still my daughter, and I am still the City Lord. You must obey me!
I gave her a pitiful look.
Have you seriously not noticed? You've completely lost the people. And my power passed yours a long time ago.
I raised my hand, a ball of terrifying magic swirling at my fingertips. Mom looked at the citizens, whose eyes were filled with pure disgust, and then looked back at the magic in my hand. The despair in her eyes grew deeper and deeper. Still, she forced her spine straight, whispering maniacally,
I gave birth to you. You have to listen to me! I will never pass the City Lord throne to you. I'm saving it for Serena!
Cedric looked at her with pure disgust.
Vivian, let's go. I'm taking you back to the wolf clown.
The second his voice dropped, Lucian, who had been thrown aside like garbage this entire time, suddenly fell to his knees. He yelled at the top of his lungs,
Please ascend the throne, new set master!
The citizens snapped out of it and instantly followed suit.
Please ascend the throne, new City Lord!
Please ascend the throne, new City Lord!
Their chants grew louder and louder, shaking the entire hall. Under the deafening roars, Mom looked like she aged 20 years in a single second. She held fainted Serena tightly and stopped speaking. Her reign was officially dead. Mom carried Serena away. I immediately ordered the citizens to take over the city smoothly. When the spirit elks arrived at the palace, Mom was actually trying to force one of them to form a contract with Serena. For years, Serena had been draining that poor elk to feed Lucian's energy. It was covered in scars and could barely even fight back. Thank God we got there just in time.
Stop right now! Catherine, you absolute psycho! I never knew you were this disgusting. From this day on, the Spirit Elk clan is your sworn enemy!
It's you! You did this, didn't you? You just hate seeing Serena happy!
I personally apologized to the Spirit Elks and handed Serena over to them to do whatever they wanted. In my past life, the Spirit Elks went extinct because Serena forced them to evolve. Using them for 2 lifetimes, this disgusting end is exactly what she deserves. Because of me and Cedric, the Spirit Elk clan didn't cut ties with our city. They even left an elk princess behind as a symbol of our new alliance. After the Spirit Elks left, I used absolute, brutal force to crush every single rebel group in the city. I forced Mom to officially abdicate and took over as the new city lord. I threw Mom straight into the dungeon. That exact dungeon was the place she used to lock me in whenever I didn't obey her, cutting my resources and forcing me to kneel on the freezing floor to reflect. I went down to see her one last time. And I told her everything about the past life. I told her how I practically bled out for the family, only for her to stand by and watch while Serena drove a poisoned dagger straight into my stomach. I told her how, as my last drop of blood drained away, she just held Serena and told me to be the bigger person and forgive her.
I genuinely never understood why you hated me so much.
Because you are nothing compared to Serena! Do you get it now? You are just a disgusting piece of trash!
Now, I don't need to understand anymore, Mom. From now on, it's your turn to beg for my love. But don't worry, I will never love you.
No, baby.
I didn't even wait for her reply. I turned around and slammed that heavy iron door shut forever. Cedric was waiting for me right outside the door. The second he sensed my energy, a heartbreakingly tender smile melted across his incredibly handsome face. He naturally reached his hand out to me. Instantly, his burning warmth wrapped entirely around me. We looked at each other and smiled.
Is it all over? Did her words hurt you?
I let him pull me straight into his broad, muscular chest. Listening to his steady, powerful heartbeat, I took a deep breath of his warm scent.
No. Honestly, it made me completely let go. Hearing her say those words out loud made me realize I don't even feel sad anymore. Cedric, in my past life, I was like a beggar starving for a single crumb of motherly love. But now I get it.
If someone doesn't love you, doing more is just a waste of time.
The breeze was still warm and the sun was blindingly bright. I have a man who loves me to death, and I have an entire empire at my feet. Why waste a single second wondering why a toxic person didn't like me? Years later, the spirit elks finally sent news about Serena. She had been forcibly refined into a living magic crystal. She can't live, she can't die. She's just a battery, harvested by anyone and everyone until the end of time.